Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Muay Thai scoring for beginners. Many people don't understand the scoring, and hopefully this video makes it super easy for you to learn how to score Muay Thai and how to win a Muay Thai fight, saying that of course they're actually scoring Muay Thai rules. I'm going to give you some extra tips in there because not everybody, especially here in the States, knows how to score Muay Thai, and we need to be able to prepare and adjust to win the tournament, to win the fight. You're going to love this episode.
What's up? This is your teammate Ironbot. Take a second to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated with our latest video. And if you'd like to support your channel even further, become a superfan or VIP student to gain access to my most exclusive content, including 45-minute weekly workout videos, live streams, early access to YouTube videos, and so much more. Allow me to help you become the champion I know you can be. Enough talking. Let's get on with the video.
If you remember anything from this video, remember this one thing because it's the most important one. Damage is what scores. Muay Thai is pain. Damage is what scores. It doesn't matter if it's a punch, if it's a kick, if it's elbow, a knee. Damage is what scores. So whatever hurts the opponent, that's going to score a point for you. Second thing to think about is balance. If you throw a punch, a kick, and you unbalance the opponent, so we don't want to just kick and slap our foot on the opponent and not really cause any damage, not move them. We want to be able to kick and move the opponent. If you're unbalancing the opponent, that's going to help you score. If you throw a kick and unbalances the opponent, if you throw a knee and their butt goes back, that's going to score. That knee is going to score. That kick's going to score. If you punch and the person gets rocked and is losing their balance, right? That punch is going to score. So a combination of damage and balance is needed to be able to score with your strikes. Now, that goes for you as well. If the person hits you and you have a good block, if the person hits you and you have good balance, many times you can negate their score because again, you're nice and strong, you kept your balance, and you showed that you were not damaged. Now let's put it together. Effectiveness is what scores. An effective strike is what scores. It could be a punch, it could be a kick, a knee, an elbow. If it's effective, then it will score. So pretty much the weapons are scored equally depending on what is effective. I've seen some pyramids that will show, for example, elbows at the top are what score the most. Then after that, knees and kicks. And then at the end, it's going to be punches and low kicks and sweeps at the bottom. That pyramid, I wouldn't say is wrong, but what ends up happening is that sometimes people might think that, okay, if the punches won't score at all, right? They all score kind of even, and I'll get a little bit more into why I say kind of even. They score kind of even, but that pyramid, what helps us is that some weapons score easier than others, and the reason is because they're easier to make damage with, easier to unbalance the opponent with. If I throw punches where I have a padding and I'm throwing a whole bunch of punches and the person just throws one kick to my body or to my arm and unbalances me, it's a good solid kick, I could throw 20 punches. Doesn't matter. That kick is going to score and my punches are not going to score. So again, effectiveness of the technique is what scores. But some techniques like elbows, for example, elbows are pointed here. If you have a good elbow, can create a cut. Then if that cut is damaging, which most likely it will be because it's a cut, right? It's hurting the opponent, then that's going to score. So when we see these pyramids, I wouldn't say that they're wrong, but they just kind of give you an idea what weapons score easier because they're bigger limbs, because they're more bone on bone, like your shin bone, right? Like your knee, right? It's a bone instead of a padding from the gloves that's going to uh, hit the opponent and damage the opponent. So these weapons are more favored because of that. They're more favored because they're bigger weapons. They can cause more damage and it's easier to be more effective with them. So hence, in this pyramid, elbows could be at the top, and then knees and kicks could be coming next. And after that, of course, leg kicks, because unless you're really buckling the opponent, again, unbalancing the opponent, hurting the opponent, leg kicks are not going to score. Same thing with punches. You can punch all you want, but if they're not effective, they're not hurting the opponent, then they're not going to score. So in a sense, all weapons are scored equally. What makes the difference is the effectiveness of the strike, the effectiveness of the strike. Now, there are some weapons like kicks in Muay Thai that are favored, knees that are favored, right? And why is that? Especially kicks, especially kicks. And why is that? Because the leg, the kick is a big weapon that makes it easier for you to create more damage, especially if you have no padding, right? You're hitting with the bone. It's easier for you to make more damage, and it's easier for you to unbalance the opponent. So effectiveness, in a way, is a combination of damage and unbalancing the opponent. Again, just being effective with the strike. And some weapons like kicks make it easier for you to do so. Now, kicks are also a weapon that can be high volume. You see in Muay Thai fights, kick, 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 block, kick, slip, kick, block, kick, kick. You see so many kicks, right? Because again, it's a type of weapon that even though it's a big weapon, we can use it constantly, and we can use it in the middle range and in the long range, right? I mean, especially once you start off the fight, right, you are pretty much starting off in the long range. And of course, you can close the distance with feints and fakes, and coming in with your footwork and all that stuff. But people come in, right? The two opponents come in from the two corners, and then the first weapon that's going to be available to them is going to be their kick. Again, they can close and throw something else, but the first weapon that's going to be available to them is going to be the kick. And if you look at Muay Thai fights, that's what ends up being used a lot of the time. Of course, different styles, my favorite punches, my favorite elbows, different body types, my favorite knees and clinch and all these things, right? And that's why at the end of the day, effectiveness is what scores the most. But however, body kicks, right? Hitting here the ribs, a nice kick to the body is going to be a big score because they are high volume, they're a big limb, bone on bone, and they're going to cause damage. So kicks are going to be a little bit more favor if you're doing a proper kick, again, a good technique kick, and you're showing that you're unbalancing the opponent, hurting the opponent, then and you're able to do a lot of them right throughout the whole fight, then you're going to be scoring a lot of points. So that's why kicks are a little bit more favored. If you're a tall opponent and you're able to fit those knees against a shorter opponent, then you're going to be scoring a lot, a lot, a lot, and most likely really hurting your opponent. One important thing, kicks to the arm do score. Do score. I personally have broken people's arms because they really think that they're blocking. And I love kicking. I love kicking hard, and then they take, and next thing they know, their arm snaps, right? And we actually have seen this multiple times in Muay Thai fights. Muay Thai kicks are very, very powerful. They carry a lot of pressure, a lot of mass, a lot of speed, a lot of power. So when the person is taking kicks on the arm, that is a score in Muay Thai. It is not a score in kickboxing, but in Muay Thai it is, because it has shown throughout time that is very effective, causing damage, unbalancing, and just hurting the opponent. Now, a little extra information. Punches, again, don't really score too much unless you're really hurting the opponent, unbalancing the opponent, and being effective with the strike. Always think back on what is effective, what the strike is doing to the opponent. If it's damaging, unbalancing, being effective, then it will score. But for the most part, punches are not seen in the judge's eyes as a scoring tool unless, again, you're actually showing that you're dominant with that weapon and you're really hurting the opponent. Next, leg kicks. Leg kicks do not really score, but as many of you might know, leg kicks hurt and they can definitely finish a fight. But we come back to that original statement, that original rule. Are they causing damage? Are they buckling the opponent, right? Are they being effective? If they're being effective, then they will score. But for the most part, especially at the beginning of the fight, the person is going to throw a leg kick, they can block it, or even if they take it, right, they're not really going to buckle. They're not really going to show that they're being damaged. So for the most part, low kicks are not really going to score. But in the long run, if the opponent's leg starts buckling, if they start, seeing like red and purple here, well, now those leg kicks are going to score. Now, of course, I have not talked about dominance. I have not talked about disruption of the opponent. And these are very key components for a Muay Thai fight. But for now, we're going to keep it nice and simple because these things that we talked about are the absolute most important. If you're able to think of the effectiveness of the strike, then you're going to be in good hands. It doesn't matter, again, if you're punching, if you're kicking, or kneeing, or anything like that. If you're effective with your strikes, causing some damage, then you're going to be scoring in Muay Thai. And that is going to be the most important part. Now, to take it a little bit further, then we will need to talk about dominance. We will need to talk about disruption of the opponent. And that is going to be a whole different video for another time. Thank you guys for watching all the way through. Hopefully, this helps you understand Muay Thai scoring a little bit more. One last little thing that I want to leave people with is that, especially if you're here in the States, is that when you're going into tournaments, when you're going into certain fights, a lot of judges are going to score you on kickboxing rules. And that means that they're going to score a lot of the punches, they're going to score a lot of the low kicks, right? They're going to score pressure because some people might ask, like, okay, like if somebody's pressuring, it's the same thing, right? If your pressure is effective, then it's good, right? It'll show some dominance. But if your pressure is not effective, again, you're overextending, you're getting caught with counters, you're getting swept, all these things, then it's not going to be scored or be part of the scoring away because again, you're not being effective with your pressure, right? So all these things do come into play. And unfortunately, a lot of judges here in the States do not understand this. So if you're going to fight in a tournament, if you're going to fight even in a show, then just keep in mind that even if in your head you're scoring and you're doing very effective techniques, as far as Muay Thai, you might want to still make sure that you have a little bit more volume, especially in tournaments, and a little bit more pressure to give you quote unquote more points because some judges might not be able to see the difference and then might score you on pressure and just throwing techniques out there, right? Of course, I'm not saying to just throw techniques out there, but throw a little bit more volume and be a little bit more aggressive, especially if it's one of your first fights, if you're in a tournament, a low level tournament that you're just kind of building yourself up, then you might run into these problems. And that's the only reason I will give you this advice. Thank you for watching. You are awesome. Make sure to click that notification button. If you have any questions, comment below. Hopefully this helps you out to understand Muay Thai scoring a little bit better. Again, any questions, let me know in the comments below and I'll make sure to get back to you.
Thank you for watching all the way through. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Special thank you to our VIP students and superfan. Our channel wouldn't be possible without your constant support. If you have not become part of our team, what are you waiting for? Get access to my most exclusive training videos. See you in the next one. Stay iron strong.